The Swiss transport system covers more than 10,000 miles, and a Swiss pass entitles you to unlimited travel across the whole network. It's valid for up to a month and a minimum of 4 days. I wonder how much of Switzerland I can see in 4 days. Not long to see a whole country, and Switzerland is about twice the size of Wales. From Geneva Airport, my next stop will be Montreux, then Zweisimmen, up into the Alps to Interlaken, the Jungfraujoch, then Lucerne, Fluellen, Lugano, St. Moritz, Chur, and finally Zurich for the plane home. No need to worry about my suitcase. The Swiss Fly Rail service takes care of that. It'll be waiting for me at Interlaken this evening, I hope. The station's only yards from the arrivals lounge, and trains depart for destinations all over the country with clockwork precision. Well, Switzerland is the home of clocks, after all. We're soon skirting Lake Geneva. Montreux is an hour away. Montreux is famous for its Golden Rose Award, Jazz in July, and the 12th century Chillon Castle, immortalised by Lord Byron in the poem The Prisoner of Chillon. No time to go inside though. A postcard, a few photos, and I'm on the move again. This is the Super Panoramic Express. Big wide windows to make the most of the views. We're leaving the French-speaking region behind and heading into the Alps and the Bernese Oberland. This is where most of Switzerland's German-speaking people live. Don't expect a meal on a Swiss train. Most of them just have snack bars like this one. And a cup of coffee will set you back 3 francs, about £1.50. "4:10 and all change at Zweisimmen. This is a popular ski resort for the Swiss. I've got just 11 minutes to spend here before my next train leaves for Interlaken. Enough time to buy a postcard anyway. From Zweisimmen, it's another hour's journey down to Lake Thun and then on to Interlaken West. Not to be confused with my stop, which is Interlaken Ost. Now to see if that luggage service really works. Has my suitcase arrived from Heathrow?
Hello.
For a small negotiable fee, most hotels will pick up your luggage from the station if you give them your ticket number.
So, bitte schön. Bye bye.
So, the end of day 1, and I've done Geneva, Montreux, Zweisimmen and Interlaken. Not bad so far. Tomorrow's first destination is obscured by clouds at the moment. It's the Jungfraujoch and Europe's highest railway station. Hope conditions get a bit clearer tomorrow. 8 o'clock next morning and I'm at Interlaken station sending my suitcase off on the next leg of its journey for the princely sum of £3.70. By the time I see it next at Lucerne tonight, I'll have been up one of the highest peaks in the Alps. The Jungfraubahn is a private rail system, but my Swiss pass does entitle me to a 25% discount, so I've paid £47 instead of the full £63. And 3 hours and 2 trains later, I've arrived at Kleine Scheidegg, base camp for ascents on the Eiger and the Jungfrau. Wonderful. The luxury of a whole half an hour here before my next train. You could get to the top of these mountains by taking a cable car, like this one up the nearby Schildhorn. These are privately owned as well, but a Swiss pass will buy you a discount on most of them. Meanwhile, the rest of us wait for the next train. It's a few seconds late, but it's not leaves on the track that pose a problem in this country. I'm just beginning to feel a little bit lightheaded now. At this height, the air is very thin, so your oxygen intake goes down. But you can get this special chewing gum in the chemist up here now, which somehow improves your circulation and your oxygen intake. 45 minutes later, we've reached the Jungfraujoch. This is known as the top of Europe, 11,500 feet above sea level and minus 3 degrees centigrade. Right, very nice. That's enough of that. I'm cold. Because of the high altitude, this trip isn't recommended to anyone who has a heart condition. And take care in the slippery ice caves on the way to the restaurant. Oh, and another tip, don't drink alcohol at this height. It goes straight to your head. Stick to the water. It's all downhill for the rest of the day now. A 5-hour journey to tonight's stop at Lucerne. I've only been on trains so far. I think I should try a boat or a bus next. So the plan for the next 2 days is to go right down south, I think, to the Italian part of the country, see the lakes, then back up to St. Moritz, rub shoulders with the jet set for an hour or two, up round to Chur, and then all the way back up to Zurich for the plane home, about another 600 miles. It's ambitious, but it's worth a go. Place your bets now. The Mercury spacecraft can travel around the world 32 times in 2 days. I'm beginning to know how it feels, having travelled half the length, breadth and height of Switzerland in 2 days. And I've got 2 more days now to go down south to see the Italian part, then all the way back up north again to Zurich for the plane home. It could take me 2 days just to get round the 3,000 exhibits here at the Transport Museum. Even this extraordinary machine called the Tourismus Flipper takes 10 minutes to tell you the story of this place. And that's about as much time as I can spare. I've got a boat to catch. The paddle steamer is called the William Tell Express because it passes Tell's Rock, where the Swiss hero managed to escape from his captors. I'll be cruising roughly southwards on Lake Lucerne for the next 3.5 hours. It's 10 to 3 when we dock at Fluellen. This used to be a staging post where goods were transferred from barges onto pack mules, the only transport there was then across the mountains. Now I'm just transferring myself to a fast train bound for Lugano and the Italian part of the country. And this will be the 11th train I've taken in the last 48 hours. I think the schedule's beginning to get to me. Seems like a bad dream. At 5:20 p.m. precisely, bang on time as usual, my train arrives at Lugano for my 3rd and last night in Switzerland. Once again, my faithful suitcase has preceded me on the luggage transport system. All I have to do is pick it up and head for the Hotel Admiral. It's good to stop rushing around railway stations for a while. This miniature sugarloaf mountain has earned the town the nickname Little Rio. Lugano is the biggest town in this southernmost part of Switzerland, the Ticino. It seems to me there's a more relaxed atmosphere in this part of the country. The Italian architecture, language and music everywhere, the cafe life. It's easy to forget that all this has been part of Switzerland for the last 300 years. It's 8 a.m. and I'm at Lugano bus station, checking in at the fly-rail counter again before starting on the last leg of my journey. Well, the next time I see my suitcase, it'll be at Heathrow Airport. I've got a few more places to see yet, though. Once again, my Swiss pass covers my fare. Like the trains, the bus network seems to keep pretty much to time. A few minutes into our journey, we have a brief stop at passport control. We're now crossing the border and travelling through Italy for the next 2 hours. For the first time on this whole trip now, I'm behind schedule. Traffic along the route has made us half an hour late crossing back into Switzerland. But we're soon beginning the slow climb up the Maloja Pass and on to St. Moritz. I'm 20 minutes late arriving at St. Moritz, but thankfully I don't have to rush down to the station. There's a whole hour before my next connection. Well, luckily for my bank balance, most of the shops are shut. It's Sunday, so all I can do really is window shopping. Come to think of it, this whole trip really has been a great window shopping tour of Switzerland. I've certainly picked out quite a few places now I'd like to come back and see properly one day. Back on the rails again, next stop Chur, where I'll pick up one last train to Zurich Airport. Well, Chur apparently is a lovely old town with some nice features. It's famous for its beer, but I've only got 10 minutes and rather a lot of travelling companions, so I'll take a photo of them instead. Smile everyone, please. Well, that was Chur, and 2 hours later, this is Zurich Airport. The trains arrive directly underneath the departure lounge, and with an hour and a half to spare before my plane leaves, at last I can take it relatively easy. Plenty of time to pick up one last postcard for my collection. Well, I must admit, I'm feeling pretty tired and pretty dishevelled, but quite proud of my achievement in travelling across Switzerland from east to west and north to south, all in 4 days. Mind you, there are still 14,000 kilometres left that I could have travelled on my Swiss pass, but I think I'll do that another time and at a much more leisurely pace.